Hey folks, Lee here, welcome to Ninja Guitar. What we're going to do is just jump straight in. I'm going to show you a minor 7 and a major 7 shape, and then some other things that you can have a look at. I'll also show you the patterns that I played at the beginning of this video as well. So yeah, have a look at them, try them out for yourself, and incorporate them into your playing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is close up, show you the arpeggio shapes that I've been tapping out. I'm going to give you a minor shape and a major shape, and then you can move those round. So we'll do everything in A, so we're going to start at the 5th fret. That's going to be our root note for the chord and arpeggio shapes that we're going to play. Of course, if you don't want to play A, you can just move them up and down in semitonal increments to choose whichever chord that you want to play. So if I show you A minor and you want to play B minor, then you go A, A sharp, B, and play the same pattern there. If you don't know what I'm talking about in terms of chromatic notes and that sort of stuff, I've got a video in terms that describes what the chromatic scale is and how to transpose it onto the guitar, and there's loads and loads of literature out there and loads of YouTube videos, so you should be able to find out what the hell I'm talking about elsewhere if you need to. Anyway, without further ado, here's the shape. So the first shape that we're going to do is a standard A minor shape. We've actually got the minor 7th interval in there, but it's an A minor 7 arpeggio. So the first note we're going to play is the 5th fret on the A string. So generally what we're going to do is hammer that on with our first finger. So that's the first note. Lots of hammers and pull-offs, so don't be afraid of those, just practice them. If you can't do them very well, you'll get them in the end. So we hammer that on at the 5th, and then my little finger is hammering the 8th fret on the same string. So those two notes, and then your right hand, or your fretting hand should I say, comes in and taps the 12th fret. So basically we're mapping out the chord shape, the chord spelling. So we've got root, minor 3rd, 5th. So that's the first bit to do. And if you're holding a pick, most people will then tap with their second finger, like that. If you're not a picking player, then you're free to use your first finger and do it that way. But whatever suits you, but you need another finger free a bit later on, so don't use your little finger. Okay, so here we go then. That's the first bit. So 5, 8, 12. And then we skip a string, so my first finger, you see, drops down to the D string, and that's the next note I hammer. So we go 5, 8, 12, 5 on the D string. And that pattern is the beginning of another pattern we've got here, which is just simply 5, 7, and then tapping using your same finger on the 10th fret. And that's basic. There's your minor 7th, there's the octave of A, and there's our minor 3rd again. Okay, and then finally we almost repeat the same pattern you played on the E string up here, so 5 and 8 on the B string. So we're skipping from this string to this string to the B string, missing one out each time, so effectively that one and that one. And then this hand at this point taps the 10th fret as well, and it's useful to use, you see how I use my 3rd finger there? It just helps it, rather than just having to jump down another string. I'm doing that kind of thing. So, and when you get to there, don't take that finger off just yet, because you're going to pull off. So you're going to push off that string onto the little finger, which is still fretting the 8th fret. Pull off to the 8th, and then you go back to your tapped note at the 10th fret on the D, pull off to the 7, pull off again to the 5, then you back up to your tap note at 12, pull off to the 8, and then down to the 5. And that's the pattern. Okay, so the next shape I'm going to show you is basically we're going to start to alter that chord spelling. So if you know your chord spellings, then you know that a minor chord is made of a root, a minor 3rd, and then a perfect 5th, just to make that triad. And then you can add notes like the minor 7th as we did there, and 9ths and 11ths and all of that business. but you need to create a major or minor chord, then all we've got to do, if we understand that, is alter some of the notes that we're playing, keep the same kind of pattern in terms of tapped and hammered bits, but just alter some of the semitones within the chord, within the arpeggio. So if we want a major version of that, a major 7 for instance, instead of hammering to the minor third, we'd hammer to the major third. Keep the 5th the same, and instead of dropping down to the 7th there, we drop down to the minor 7, we drop down to the major 7. So let me show you what I'm talking about there. We've got 5, 9, 12 on the E string, and then I'm dropping to 6, 7, and then 11 on the D string. So we've got root, major third, perfect 5th, major 7, octave, and then a major third again. And then again, as we did on the minor example, this shape here is played on the same on the B string here. And this time my third finger is going to tap just a semitone away, because that's our major 7 interval again. So we've got this. Okay? And then when we get to there, just in the first example, we pull off, hammer, pull off, hammer, pull off, And the trick in terms of keeping those from ringing out, I mean, if you've got a hairband, a lot of players use hairbands and all that sort of stuff to dampen the strings, but if you really practice, then you don't necessarily need to use a hairband or some kind of string dampener, and you can I kind of use the fleshy part of my forearm here, is kind of dampening the strings a little bit as well as I'm tapping, and part of this, of my palm as well is also catching the strings, and it's kind of a feel thing. And you'll get, if you start trying to do something percussive like that and then bring out as much of the string as you need to, but it's about doing it really slow, really accurately, and taking your time, and then you will build up speed naturally. So that's kind of a minor 7 shape and a major 7 shape, but you can make up any chord shape you like. You can get into some sort of strange territories, sort of whole tonal stuff if you wanted to. Whole tone just being, if we did it from E, so the whole scale is built from tones, and I'll probably do a video on whole tone. There's loads of literature out there in relation to it. So I could play whole tone from B, something like that, taking notes from the scale, and then get my left fretting hand. I was playing 3 notes there, but I don't have to. I can play 2 as before, and then tap any one of the notes from the scale again. And then you could bring in 3 notes if you want, just this we could have done in the other examples. That kind of thing, which is pretty cool. So I would say experiment, take a chord that you like the sound of, just playing it, and then map out the notes from the chord, find them on the guitar, and have a go at building them into playing as tapped arpeggios. Right, I'll give you another example. Not necessarily doing anything string skipping until right at the very end, but if we do one that kind of almost uses all of the strings, and I'll do it. It's one of the examples at the beginning that I used at the beginning of this video, over an E major chord, and what I was doing is playing this pattern. So 12th fret on the E string, which is obviously an E. That's what my left hand or fretting hand is doing. So 12, 14, and then 11, 14, and I'm tapping at 19 on both strings. So same vibe as before, same technique, just these particular notes. So 12, 14, 19, 11, 14, 19. Then I follow that same pattern an octave higher, so this time it would be 14, 16, 13, 16, and I'm tapping again 2 frets higher this time, so right up at 21. See what I'm saying? And then when I get to there, I'm going to do the string skip. So I jump from this point on the G string and I go to the 12th fret on the E string, and I'm skipping over that B, and I'm playing 12 and then 16. So we've got something like, and then I'm going to tap on 19. And then I do the whole thing in reverse, pulling off. That kind of thing. So in the opening credits of this video, that's the exact same pattern that I played, and then I moved it down to C. So I went E, D sharp, D, C sharp, C, and played exactly. Okay, over there. So there's a few examples of how you can take a chord shape or a chord spelling, map it out as an arpeggio and apply it to the guitar, and also then try and incorporate a tapping version, a tapping technique into it too. So that's it for now, just a really short video. Hope you found it useful as always. Please get in touch, share the video, like it, help me out a bit there, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye.